Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Leah, and I'm going to go ahead and share some of my favorite summer recipes. This is Savvy Saute. The first thing I'm going to do for this meal is chop up some onion. I'm going to use this as I brown my meat. I like to do this before the meat is fully cooked because it just helps infuse more flavor. Same thing with the salt and pepper. I don't add that after the meat is done cooking. I add it while it's cooking. Taco seasoning, anything that you're trying to season your dish with the ground beef, I do it before the meat is cooked. You do it with chicken. Ground beef does not have to be any different. I see so many people cooking and adding the seasoning to their ground beef after it's cooked. And I mean, not to knock what they're doing. I'm just sharing how I get things done here. So I'm just putting that down in there first, and then I'm gonna add my about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of ground beef. Now, I do not need 2 pounds of ground beef for this recipe for my family, but I had it thawed out in the fridge. This is what was left over, and I wanted to make sure I got it all cooked before it went bad, and I'm going to be seasoning it with the onion, salt, and pepper, very basic, and then I can use it in a couple of days for another recipe. Love this tool. Beef working, and then I have my oven preset to 375 preset. It's like I'm working with Instagram or something. Preheated to 375, and then I'm going to get the zucchinis sliced as thinly as I prefer. I could do these almost like a ribbon, very thin with a special tool. I could use a mandolin. I don't have that, and I like to have more texture when I'm doing zucchini lasagna, so I'm going to just use a knife and slice it thin. I'm going to do some ricotta filling. This is a 15-ounce container. I'm just gonna dump the whole thing. 1 egg, just some Italian type of seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon. And then I'm going to add just a handful of mozzarella cheese, probably almost 1/2 cup. I'm going to add some seasoning to my tomato sauce. I don't really buy a marinara sauce that's already pre-done. If I buy that, it's because I'm mixing it with this. I don't have any right now, so I am just going to use about 1/2 can of tomato sauce, my Italian seasonings to it. About 3 cups of ground beef to this. And the really awesome thing about this, if you're using this for a WW recipe, is that there is no added sugar to the sauce, as opposed to if you were buying like a can of Ragu or Prego or something like that. And it's really good. I promise if you do this, you're not gonna miss the sugar. So good. There are only 3.5 people in my family, so I'm just going to be using a 1/2 pan. This, I believe, is about 8 by 8. Let's see what it says. 8.5 by 8.5. Put down my little zucchini noodles. Again, this comes down to your personal preference. If you like them thicker, then do it thicker. And I also sliced my zucchini in half this way because it's easier if I don't have to cut all the way through the zucchini in half. That is going to be the size of a portion. So So then just layer some of the meat. Now, I don't really think there is a proper or improper way to layer a lasagna, so you do this however you want.
Hey, Mommy?
About a 1/4 cup of the regular. This is low moisture, part skin. And then I'm gonna be using about a 1/4 cup of the fat-free. This was in there for about an hour, and I actually turned up the temperature to 400. Have some tempura green beans that I cooked from the freezer, and some sauteed veggies. That's just some mushrooms and peppers and onion. And I just added some extra sauce on top. So good. All right, I am going to share a pineapple sauce on the fly. I don't have a recipe for this. I'm just going to kind of wing it and put it on the grill. I have coconut milk. I also have my pineapple. Then I'm going to be using some lime, cilantro, and I have some peppers that were in my freezer. For the rest of the meal, I want to use some water chestnuts. I also have some chopped peppers and onions that I want to do, kind of like a summer stir fry kind of dish on the grill. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the liquid in the bottom of my blender. This is just some unsweetened coconut milk. So that's about 1/3 of the can. About a cup of pineapple, and then probably a cup of pineapple juice. I also want to add some lime juice. So not very much, probably just half of a lime. I don't want it to be a lime sauce, so I'll save the other one for later. I love cilantro. I'm probably gonna add, it's probably almost a cup. This smells so good. It smells like a pina colada sauce that you would get at a seafood restaurant. Going in a blender, but then I want to add some of these peppers, poblano. That's about 1 pepper. All right, there we go. All right, so the next thing I want to do is pull out my shrimp that I'm going to be using. I also want to use broccoli, and then these are the peppers that I pulled out. Has some onion in there too. So I'm just going to put my shrimp down in this bowl, pour the sauce over it, and let it marinate for just a little while. Okay, so we are going to put this stuff on the grill. I have it on about a medium high heat, and I am going to make sure that I spray just so that it doesn't end up sticking, because that would be really bad. with shrimp, you can see they start to curl up, and that is your sign that they are getting done. To complete the dish, I just added a noodle chicken bag from the freezer section at Trader Joe's and added the broccoli and water chestnuts to it. For the last summer dish this week, I went ahead and just put some brats on the grill. Dakota actually took care of that part for me while I took care of the peppers and onions inside the house. I just sprayed some oil in the pan and let those saute for a while. This isn't very many peppers, but that's because I'm the only one who's going to want the peppers on my brat. In college, one of my teachers taught me to pour some caramel colored soda, whatever kind you have, into your onions to caramelize them. And oh my gosh, it turns out so good. Nothing says summer better than brats on the grill. Thanks for hanging out while I'm cooking dinner this week, and hopefully your weather is turning into spring and summer wherever you are as well. And until the next video, I will see you in those comments.